All right, I'm testing. All right. It looks like I'm getting a microphone level. That's good. It's not scary for everyone else. Hello, everyone. I'm dicking around with my microphones here, and I went back to. Well, you don't have to know what I went back to. I just wanted to make sure whatever I went back to was on. So Kevin Keller is in the house. I'm going to flip the go button on the me here. Let's see what's happening. And here I go. All right, I am live, and nice to be back on YouTube. My Patreons, Unshun, Kevin Keller's in the house. I don't know who else is showing up, but hey, that's good enough for us. We can just hang out with Kevin Keller. That's fine. I just discovered TikTok, kind of, sort of, for myself. I know it's a whole nother ball game. TikTok is it's a millions and billions kind of thing, not money, just viewers. And the 1 week, 1.5 weeks I've been dicking around on TikTok, the my followers went from 281 to over 5,000, which is, I think you need 1,000 to be able to go live. And I have a couple of old stupid videos that I posted in the wrong aspect ratio. So if you do go on TikTok and you get the full this, I'm just this teeny little box, but I'm working on that. But once that's live clips from a show, so once I film them, I can't go back and flip them, and you can't just flip them in iMovie. That sucks batshit balls. So that's a whole nother ball game. Presenting my show in increments of 30 seconds and 1 minute blocks is going to be a task. I'm not too sure what I can get away with over there. I've been watching some TikTok tutorials on YouTube, and background stuff could be a problem. Sound, yes, but also like if there's a beer sign back here or anything that has any kind of commercial something on it, that can get you in trouble on TikTok. The TikTok tutorials are kind of insane. And one lady, I've tried to schedule one, and there's supposed to be like a little calendar up in the corner, and mine doesn't have it. So I seem like an asshole. I can't find my calendar, but mine didn't have a calendar, so I couldn't schedule it. I had to just pow, go. And the people who make the tutorials for TikTok, they're as fucking crazy as I. The one lady said, well, she can spend hours and hours scrolling on TikTok. Hours and fucking hours. Are you shitting me? Well, I have TikTokers. My wife and daughter find all the best TikToks, and then they send them to me, and I save them up. And then, because I'm a high-tech Amish, I'm plugged in, I push them to the big TV, and I kind of watch them as a movie, like maybe 30, 40, 50 TikToks gets me like 60-minute movie, 90-minute movie. So I don't have to hunt for things on TikTok. My TikTok scouting agents find me the right stuff. In fact, on the TikTok live, it's the same. I went live there. It's the same thing here. As soon as I'm off TikTok, I remembered something that I wanted to say, that I had been seeing a few TikTok doctors over the year, and that's what brought me to TikTok. And so then I have posted squirrels, cats. Sparky was on there, and I think I got like 1,000 views from one of the Bearcat videos, maybe from Sparky video, but that's not really cracking TikTok. I have, I think, 180,000 views on one little 1 minute clip. That's not even big numbers for TikTok. It's big numbers for me. I'm excited to get my show out in front of a new audience. Someone was in there from Guam tonight. But again, it's fun, but I also have to be very careful because you folks know how I am. And if I yell at Richter and say Bourbon Balls and Kevin Keller, fuck you in a bucket of goo, you know that's a term of endearment. TikTok doesn't yet understand peckerhead, fuck you in a bucket of goo, Bourbon Balls are terms of endearment. don't even think about trying to explain Klee's sister, who's not in the chat tonight, but she will be watching later on. So it's also interesting to see what they think is funny. I talked about this in my little TikTok live. When I write comedy and I perform it, it kind of starts to take shape as I perform it. Because what I think is funny usually is, but there's sometimes little crumbs and offshoots and things break off that are funny that I didn't know were funny. Then you, the audience, you laugh and I go, oh, thank you. I didn't know that was funny. There's a teeny little bit of that on TikTok. The one clip I posted, it's flattery, and you folks have done it too. You say a thing, and then people repeat the thing in the chat. That's kind of badass. So the one old stupid bit I did for TikTok that went nuts was, Amish is a whole lifestyle. How could you give it all up? Oh, what? All that nothing? All that farming my balls off? 16 hours a day under a hot August sun in a black suit waiting to burst into flames. How could I give that up? Coming in a hot house smelling like the very manure I've been in all day. No cold beer in the fridge, no fucking fridge in the fridge. That's the phrase that got him. No fridge in the fridge. So who knew? And then it's all about hashtags. So it makes it seem like I'm not working on my book, which I actually am, but I'm also trying to hit a new market. And also, if I can get my ass in gear with this book, TikTokers are not coming to Pennsylvania to see my show, but TikTokers can get my book and put it on a Kindle. So I'm definitely trying to whore myself. Over on Patreon, I'm dropping a couple of things from TikTok live accidentally, and then I couldn't shut it down, and so the commercial for the live, I put that up on Patreon, and more book stuff coming. I'm writing all the time, making notes, and then I get sidetracked, and then shit happens. Did I stream last week? I did, didn't I? Yes, I streamed for my birthday, so the stuff from the wedding Friday night, I don't have to tell you, so we're all caught up there. Mary, the cat, is not a big fan of streaming. If she would have run around on my lap on TikTok and go nuts, that'd be great. Me being like this and loud and everything, she's gone. And also, when I'm focusing on show business and writing and setting things up, Mary feels very neglected and cries at me. And so I already have enough anxiety and stress in my life trying to hit it in show business. Now when I'm working and trying to create comedy, I have a cat following me. Oh, this is terrible. I don't know why you're not petting me. I don't really know what's going to happen. So I got some shit I'm dealing with there. I'm going to have, this is a smoothie, no alcohol in there, smoothie that the lovely Mrs. Comic makes for me so I don't pass out from malnutrition. I'm supposed to have this before the live stream. I'm supposed to have this before the TikTok, which I had it. I'm just too stupid to do that. All right. So there's that. Richter's in the house. There's a weird thing with TikTok. I'm going to be talking about TikTok a lot tonight because I am stunned by the numbers. I totally am. And I actually told TikTok people not to come over here because this isn't 30-second bits. This is more of a slow burn. But if there's new TikTok people that wind up in the chat and they talk fucking stupid, don't be a dick to them because they haven't come along as far as you amazing folks have, so they don't get me. So it'd be hard enough for me to not go fucking postal Susie on them when I see it. So just, welcome them and just, well, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do what I tell you to do. If you want to be a dick, I have no control over that. I would just prefer that you didn't be a tick to my dick docs. I mean a dick to my TikToks. So there's that going on. We'll talk more about the craziest shit with TikTok. Now I have the thing where I worry Did I tell you, peckerheads? I mean, in a nice way, or do I just remember telling the TikTokers about it? Because there are some dilemmas with me and TikTok, and that one of the things is that um, I forgot what I was saying. That's the thing that happens on TikTok and YouTube Live and wherever I go. That's the thing that happens there. But the tutorials for TikTok are fucking nuts. They're very helpful, but they are fucking nuts. If you want to be a TikToker, the guy when you get YouTube help videos, there's there's literally thousands of people to teach you whatever it is you want to learn, and then you find someone that's talking about what you need to learn and that kind of makes sense, and you connect them. So I got this TikTok guy that I've been getting watching his YouTube things, and but he says you got to if you want to get serious in the TikTok game, you got to post 4 times a day, four times a day, and there's an actual schedule that's different Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Posting a TikTok on Monday at 9 in the morning is good, but like Thursday sucks batshit balls. I don't know what those fucking rules are, or if they have anything to do with anything. But so I'm learning all that stuff, but there's no fucking way uh, to be a professional TikToker as far as I'm concerned. Posting 4 times a day. The amazing thing, a good sidetrack here is some people I know are saying I'm too old for TikTok, and that fucking melted my brain. I believe it's because TikTok has a silly name, like TikTok. Like if it was fuckface, we'd all go on it. So if you believe you're too old for TikTok because it's called TikTok, you should not be allowed to eat a Kit Kat bar because that's equally as silly as TikTok Kit Kat. Then you should eat a Charleston Chew. That's what you should do there. I don't understand it. I'm telling you this. If you do go on TikTok, you do have to weed through stuff. But once you start to like different things, and if you put in the search squirrel, then it will know that you like squirrel shit, and then all that stuff will happen. So there's the most ridiculous animal videos on TikTok, and I fully well understand how people can get sucked into TikTok like a Twin Peaks Black Lodge. Like I just went in and I just started watching squirrel videos, and I never fucking got out. And my family nobody came to get me, and I wasn't on battery power. I was plugged in, so I just TikTok my whole fucking life. But there's a TikTok of a lady trapped in her business office because an insane squirrel wants to run in. And I'm afraid of squirrels. They're fun to watch running around, but I wouldn't want to see a squirrel fucking running at me. And it's a TikTok, and she's screaming, and you think she's lying about it, and then she opens up the door, and the fucker comes running down the tree right at her, and she screams, and she can't fucking go home from work, and then we laugh, and then that's a view for the TikTok squirrel thing. There's so many fun things on there if you can weed through the shit. What was the other one? There's the foxes, but the foxes are adorable, but they don't really uh, make a good story for YouTube Live. But there's cats running and hopping on skateboards and fly. It's kind of like America's Funniest Home Videos in 30 and 40-second bangs. That's really what's going on there. So that's a lot of fun. Plus, there's really gorgeous things from around the world. Like you could put in Ireland, and you could put in Cliffs and Moore, and all this stuff comes up. There is a young tap dance group from Europe, and they just go like in front of the fucking Eiffel Tower, and they just stand there and they just fucking start busting into it, and it's really actually kind of amazing stuff. But if you do go in there, just make sure that somebody has some sort of rope around your waist or something so they can pull you out of there. There's some great stuff in there, and let's see more TikTok notes here. It's crazy shit, and it just really is. I I actually thought there was something wrong with my eyes when I saw I had a video. It was up to 168,000 views. Let's see. Oh, the folks are saying that they're too old for TikTok. Also, uh, I'm, and this all just happened today. I don't like the phrase "I'm too old for anything." That's the dumbest fucking thing anybody's ever said. The older you get, the more fun you should be, like a wacky, crazy pappy, because we've all done it too. You have, you know, you grow up and you have kids, and then your parents become grandparents, and the grandparents spoil the kids rotten, and then you actually say, "Hey, you weren't this much fun when I was little." You say, "Ah, fuck you in a bucket of goo. We got to spoil the grandchildren. Never mind that shit." And plus, then we get to leave, and then the kids are your problem. So this idea that you're too old for something is actually an old way of thinking. Since my lovely wife brought this up to, she says people used to say that, you get to a certain age, and then you're expected to do this, and then you get to a certain age, and then like, but I don't know, like, what the age is on TikTok. That's fucking crazy right there. But when you say you're too old, uh, I bet if Stein was going to watch Stein, we had this exchange too. Stein was liking Stranger Things on Netflix, but he has guilt because he thinks he's too old for it, and he's younger than half the fucking cast. So I don't even understand what's going on there. Don't think you're too old for something unless you're out in public and it's real fucking creepy, then you shouldn't be there. Like I'm just not saying an old man should jump into the fucking ball pit at McDonald's Playland. I'm just saying as far as enjoying shit, there's no possible way when you're too old to enjoy something when you're dead, and that's actually just the theory anyway. Who knows if you can have fun in the other world? So there's that. Water here. No bourbon for me right here now, because we might be visiting our grandson. That's a cat named Hank. Hank's fucking crazy. We've told some Hank stories before. So once I have the word that I'm not going to have to go check up on my grandson, the cat Hank, then I can slam some fucking bourbon balls back and party it up. It's been crazy. My birthday. Wow, that was bizarre. I had one of the best birthdays I ever had was 2017 when Twin Peaks season 3 dropped on my actual birthday. And that was incredible. And we had a Twin Peaks party here. That's why I have these fucking red curtains. These red curtains, and that's back when I had money that I could afford red curtains to throw a Twin Peaks party, which turned out good for the live stream. But we did it up, and probably only Richter will get this, but we actually went to a diner, and there's a scene where it's like a crazy lady, and it's Meals on Wheels, and she says, "Do you see cream corn? I ordered no cream corn." And then there's cream corn in the kid's hand. When we went to the diner in Kutztown that day to get ready for the Twin Peaks party, I slipped the waiter guy like $10 and said, "Could you just say nothing? Look stoic and scary, like death walking, and set a bowl of cream corn on our table, right fucking smack in the middle, and just turn and go." And he did it, and it was fucking awesome, and we created our own Twin Peaks moment there. That was absolutely incredible. This year's my birthday was a surprise of a lot of fun days in a row. My actual birthday was Saturday. Wednesday we got to hang out with our daughter and cat and have dinner with her. That was accidental. Thursday we went on a road trip to find a drive-in movie chair for our daughter because they love drive-in movies, and we had some more cat visiting there and some fun there. And then Friday we went to the wedding of the friend who's sometimes in the chat, and Klee's sister, the actual Klee, that's Frank. Frank would have been in the circle of Klee's sister's friend Klee back in the olden days, and so it was Frank's son's wedding Friday. That was crazy fun shit too. Then Saturday was my actual birthday. My actual birthday was the worst of the 4 or 5 days in a row. Then Sunday was really fun. I don't even remember what we did. And then I had gotten some fun birthday stuff yesterday. So I'm having like these days of birthday. So that's kind of amazing. So now I'm spoiled rotten. I'm expecting another birthday, possibly not tomorrow, but like within however many days. So that's going on there. I'm trying to do everything at once. I'm trying to book work, and I have a couple things cooking, and then I'm dealing with. I think I'll be at the Sealands Grove VFW the first Friday in July, but the guy who runs that is was in the hospital, and so somebody else is running it, and they come in the mornings as old pappies, and they're only there till 11 o'clock, and then they'll send me an email that I won't read until noon that says, call Harold Monday before 11, probably because they're not sure what to do about tickets or this or that. But then I always think the worst one, oh, fuck me in a bucket of goo. Harold's going to call the show off because it's not Joe, and Joe runs the show. So that's my first worry, always assuming that the thing that's going to happen is bad. That's bad fucking way to live. So I do have a Baboomsa reminder set for me to call Harold at the Sealands Grove VFW before 11. So that'll go off Monday morning. It'll scare the fuck out of me because I won't know what it's about. And then I have the Emmaus Movie Theater the last Friday in July. Tickets are on sale. I'm very excited about that. That should be a really fun night. I think it's a BYOB, and they have liquor there as well. And there's possibly something I'm going to be doing in June, the Friday before Father's Day, but it's unofficial yet, and it's not, I don't even know where to tell you that it is. It might be out in Fleetwood somewhere, and it's not official yet because the other thing that happens is it's kind of flattering, but I got to reel people back in. Sometimes people book me, think I'm way more famous than I am. And the one thing these people wanted to do was charge like a $25 ticket at a door for a fire hall show, which, no disrespect to a fire hall, those are like theater ticket prices. $25 shouldn't get you a folding chair in a fire hall social room. So I'm trying to see if I can scale them down a little bit. I had one of those probably maybe 15, 20 years ago that I didn't do in Reading, and I'm sorry that I couldn't do it. It was actually for a bird wildlife sanctuary benefit, and their plan was me and the dinner, and it was like $175 a plate, and I'm like, this is a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea to believe that you could charge for me StubHub scalped prices, even if it comes with a covered dish. So it's flattering that they think they could charge that for me, but also when I book these things, I need them to work, so it's not a fucking disaster. And even though there's contracts, if they can't pay me, they can't fucking pay me. And if I didn't warn them, then I'm the dick. And I've been doing this 31 years. It was another one. There's a peckerhead. And before I used to not pay attention. I just wouldn't pay attention. My contract was I would get like a percentage of the door and no guaranteed minimums. Boy, I took one up the ass too often years ago, and I've snapped that off, and that's just going in on a dare. I dare people not to come to my show. Well, when I got to this particular one, there was 37 people there. And they were telling me they thought they could get like 200 people. And when I got there, this is down in King of Prussia, it was just a fire hall show. It was brought to my attention that tickets were $55 for me, and I know you're going, oh, you're worth it. Yeah, well, where's the fucking $55? How about that? That's Patreon. You peckerheads already give me $55. But it came with like a free drink, so, and it's like one free tap beer or one free cocktail, and I lost my fucking mind. Like, I'm $55. What planet do you think we could charge $55 and give them a fucking tap beer? And do you think that's a bad idea? Then I went nuts in a smart mouthy kind of way. I'm there. Well, by that logic, you know what you should do? You should really include a free car wash, a free we'll walk your dog for you, and we won't do your laundry, but we will fold one pile of it and for like fucking $285 ticket. How about that? And he's like, do you think we could sell it? No, you stupid fuck! I was mocking you, for crying out loud. You charge a $15, $20 ticket. What the fuck is wrong with you? He loved the idea of just stacking shit on, car washes and all kinds of shit. Now look, we can charge $4,000 for this fucking ticket. So that's fun stuff. Why did Mary? There's no planet where she'll do it. But if she wanted to do me a favor, if she wanted to do you a favor, if she wanted to do a solid, why on the top of this chair here, for reasons I couldn't even tell you, Mary will come chair assing out. Her cat tunnel's right here. She only uses it for transportation from that room to this room and vice versa. She doesn't play in it. She actually uses it for fucking tunnel, for transportation. So that's kind of amazing. So we can hear her coming through the tunnel, but she'll run up in the day on this chair, and in the back here, she'll fucking chase around shit that nobody else can see. And that's when we think Sparky might be flying around here tormenting the cat. She'll be up here, and then fucking looking around, and then she'll look at me. My record player's over there. I get a brand new Sparks record, and I didn't see the cat up here, and I thought my new fucking Sparks record has all these scratches. Because that sounds like fucking pops and shit on the vinyl. So if she would do it, it would be fucking insane, but I don't think she will. And there should have been more to that story than there is. What's been going on with us, wife? Do we? Oh my God! I told you there's bear. Mrs. Comic said about Bearcat and Werecat. I had mentioned that before. Bearcat, I'm actually making a lot of progress with Bearcat. It's a cat who will not be ever saved. The feral that will never be saved. And this is fan-funded house back. When I take food out that Stein sent us, it smells like stink fish pot shit ass, worst fucking smell in the world. Bearcat loves it, and it gets very hungry, and I will go out there and dump the water out and all this and that shit. So if I put treats nearby, Bearcat will come over this fucking close to me if I don't talk to Bearcat, if I don't look at Bearcat. That's fine. And so I've decided Bearcat is kind of like Frank Booth in Blue Velvet. Did you fucking look at me? Don't you fucking look at me. That's Bearcat. That's Bearcat. And again, Mary will throw herself into the window, let me know Bearcat's out there, and I can get it fucker pretty close if I don't look at it or speak. And you know that's impossible for me to not speak, so that's the problem there. And then there's a doppelganger Bearcat called Werecat who doesn't have the way to describe Bearcat, if you haven't seen Bearcat, Bearcat looks like an old theater queen who fished a fake fur coat out of the trash and put it on, and it just became part of it. Werecat is a more stealth, not quite as floofy and ragged and straggedy Bearcat, and doesn't show up that often. At nighttime, it's hard to tell them apart, except I know how they move around. Then Werecat was out a couple nights ago, and I hardly ever see it because it must creep on the food after I do the dropping and go in. But Werecat was out there, and I thought it was Bearcat, but I knew right away it wasn't Bearcat because Bearcat would never say to me, or Werecat said to me when I was putting food down, and what Werecat said to me was this. My wife heard it in here through the window and thought I was being fucking eaten by the blob or some shit. I lost my. I actually was afraid that cats hiss, bearcat hisses, and that's it. And it's rare. Mary has on occasion hissed, but even when she sees bearcat, she doesn't hiss. She flumps herself into the window. But werecat had some kind of fucking demonic Lord Voldemort weird. Need a fucking food to go in. What the fuck? It's scared the fuck of me. I'm actually scared to go out there. So now I have to do, and I can't be mean to it because it's a feral cat and it's counting on me on some planets to keep it alive. But I also can't live my life afraid to go out in my backyard because things are going. I have enough neighbors like that I don't have to fucking worry about cats that way. So that was big excitement. And oh, here's something that happened to my wife and I, and it probably happened to a lot of people. But there ever a day when you're so fucking tired and you can't believe it? You just can't. You just fucking can't believe it. And you actually say, "Why am I so tired? I had my B12 and I had my coffee and I had. Why am I so fucking tired?" And my wife was going through one of those the other day, so we were watching whatever the hell we were watching, and it got to be kind of late, and there could have been a nap involved from midnight to 3, somewhere in there. But we were up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Randy Lehman, thanks for the loot. Drops mic. So we went up to sleep. It must have been about 3 o'clock. And like 20 minutes in, we were both fucking wide awake. I mean, we were just like, and we were afraid to speak because we thought the other one was asleep. And then finally I said, "You can't sleep either." I could sense that she was awake. And then she laughed, and then she whipped her Kindle out, and then she read, and I laid there like a stupid ass trying to will myself to sleep. And so Mrs. Comic basically read from 3:30 in the morning to like 6:30 in the morning. Then she came up and slept for like another half hour, and then she couldn't sleep. But then that day she was like, "I'm sorry, I just don't know why I'm so tired." I said, "I know why you're so tired. You didn't fucking sleep at all last night, like a half hour. That's why." But when you're that tired and you don't know why, it's so frustrating. But then when you figure it out, it's a relief. You're like, "Oh, that makes all the sense in the world." You almost give yourself permission to like just fucking fall asleep. So if that happens to you, cut yourself some slack if you figure out why you're tired. That's all. Look at, there's more. This Randy Lehman is funding the chat tonight. That's badass. That's rock star. Well, I'm gonna have to send Randy Lehman over to TikTok so he can teach them TikTokers how to give me some fucking money. That would be fantastic. I appreciate that. I really do. This goes back to the heart of people trying to raise money on streaming and virtual and all the stuff. Like, we want money, but I also really enjoy entertaining people. It's actually kind of cool to throw my show out there, and people from all over the world never heard of me. I never heard of them. It's kind of nice to be able to get myself out there a little bit. So how to trick them into giving me money is anybody's guess. I don't know that. When my book comes out, that's right. So, but I'm hammering away on my book. We have been watching some stuff, reading some stuff. I've started reading our wife. Our wife. Kind of like now in the chat, she's our wife, right? Mrs. Comic just read a book that I talked about in the stream a few weeks ago that our daughter told me to read, The Lost Apothecary. It's so entertaining. She just wrapped it up. It's about a lady. who, and it's in his old time, and then it's in the present time. They go back to 1700, and they come to the. She sells poison only to women that have to kill an asshole husband. That's her. That's it. That's. I thought I had a specific audience, but that's really a specific audience. Only women who were married to assholes that needed to be murdered with her poison. That's what she whipped up for him, and she's very strict about that. And so that was a fun read, actually. And it's covered before. Like she was sold out of her ingredients most of the time because it was set in a time period when guys are assholes, which is basically all time periods. So it was pretty much covered there.
We watched that show where they go in the shed and then go to the stores.
Oh, what's that one? There's a something in the, is that the sky? Oh wait, something in this. So no, that's a good show. Let's see if I can find it here. Hang on. My many phones. That was a fun one. It was a little fringy, and it was a little tick-tocky. Not TikTok. So I can't fucking. I didn't even want to say TikTok. It was a little fringy and a little Twin Peaksy. Well, let's see. I know I sent this somewhere. Let's see. I believe it is. It's either on Apple TV or Amazon. What's on one of those? Is it Night Sky? Is that Night Sky? I think it's Night Sky. That's a fun one. They basically hide in a shed. It's almost like a bomb shelter thing, but it really isn't. And they're like kind of old groovy hippies, and everybody thinks they're nuts. That was a fun watch. The other one we're enjoying is Something Mankind on Apple TV. It's alternate universe. I could be able to find this stuff here if I find my Apple remote control. It's like alternate universe. NASA goes to the moon, but we didn't get there first. So it's based on kind of like an imagined but made up thing. So that's entertaining. Would be better. It would be far more informative for you, the viewer, if I had the fucking names of the shows that I would like you to watch. So therein limits whatever help I can give you. I can't find my Apple TV remote control, so I can't even beam over. I'm certainly not getting up. That's not going to happen. And I'm actually going to want to need this remote control. Well, I'm not going to want to need it. I'm going to need it. There it is. I'm going to.
For all mankind.
Right here.
Said.
For all mankind, Kevin Keller. Thank you. And you couldn't fucking say that 2 minutes ago when I was fucking looking for this, but now you helped me find this. So for all mankind, that was a good one. We enjoyed that. I'm also back to Richter because it's when Twin Peaks dropped on my birthday in 2017. I started watching Twin Peaks Classic, Season 1, Season 2. Everybody was busting the balls at Season 2. Sucked batshit balls. Some of it does, but the first couple of episodes are fucking incredible. I don't think I'm going to make it through the whole second season, but I'm going to pop right into Twin Peaks Season 3, which brings us to more fun. So my wife and I, Mrs. Comic, we like Fringe. We did a rewatch on Fringe, and then we watched these other shows, and then if one of us falls asleep, her, not me, maybe me once, I feel like I want to stop it, at least mark where I think she fell asleep, and then we can pick it up. And sometimes I just keep going and then watching it because I can watch things 80 times and then I understand it better. And but I still have to mark where we were for her to get caught up. And sometimes I just shut that fucker down and then I'll go to like Twin Peaks, and Mrs. Comic will wake up thinking that we're watching the show that Kevin Keller said, whatever the fuck it's called, For All Mankind. And then it'll be Agent Cooper, and Leland will be singing, oh, Maresy Dotes and Dozy Dotes and little lambsy die, kiddly diddly die, won't you? There's a great fucking dance scene in Twin Peaks with the Horn Brothers and Leland. It's worth the watch just for that. Also, back to Richter and the wedding. I was very disappointed that I forgot at my friend's wedding to do something we do with weddings all the time. It's like an inside thing for Twin Peaks people. Leland is going nuts at a public gathering, and he starts crying and screaming and holding his head, and they want to pretend like everything's fine. So, what's her face? What's the lady? What's the evil lady that's trying to take the mill? Twin Peaks. That's in cahoots with Ben, whoever she is, and she's Catherine, right? Catherine. Catherine starts doing this as a dance because Leland's going this. She's like, and then it trends and it turns on and everybody's dancing by doing this Leland. So I like to do the Leland cover scream this at wedding dances, and I forgot to do it and I didn't do it. And they're probably on some planet where they're happy and lucky that I didn't do this.
No, next wedding.
That's right, next wedding. Oh. That's all it's cooking right here, right now. I'm making notes all the time. These were notes to piss and moan about, oh shit, I gotta learn about TikTok. I can't schedule shit. Live stream problems. The fun thing is also is that when I get back into doing little TikToks and shit, everything that went wrong here can be fun for me to report over on TikTok in increments of like 30 seconds. So I got to start my TikTok career, and I can't even tell you to go over to TikTok, just as I cannot tell TikTokers to come over here. I know one thing, I am a dumb ass, but I'm smart enough to know that when you're on these different platforms, you can't present exactly the same as you would on TikTok as you would here on this live stream, and vice versa. That shit doesn't. Randy Lehman, is that another $5?
So nice.
That's very nice. If you're drunk and you're doing it accidentally, let me buy you a shot with your $5 bill and we'll keep this shit going on here. That's very nice. So I know what I'm presenting over there, I can't just do what I'm doing here, but I see a lot of comedians on TikTok would just trying to put this live stream up on TikTok would be the worst fucking idea I could come up with, and other comedians do it because I follow them, and then when I log in there, there's just like this thing is going on. What the fuck is going on? So it's tricky to figure out what should belong on what platform, and I pretend like I know, but I don't really even know. So that's stuff to figure out. See this, I complained about that on TikTok. I said like this, TikTok is 30 seconds to do the thing. When I perform stand-up comedy, I can walk out on stage after I'm introduced and I can do this for 30 seconds and the audience goes fucking wild. That shit doesn't really work on TikTok. So, I'm trying to think what else is going on here. Let's look at my notebook. Here we go. My notebook here. You know what's going to happen, as well as I know what's going to happen. Oh, if you didn't get to some clips, I'm yanking a few clips out of my Harrisburg shows. There's a couple of things that I actually really like that I do, and if you haven't seen them, make sure you see them. It's assholish of me to like things that I do, but I think I put it on Patreon. I'm a big fan of my own bit. What a dick I am to say that. Of the Major League umpires called third strike on the third out. Something fucking crazy happens to those umpires. I don't have the slightest idea what it is. They go over the fucking cuckoo's nest. Randy Lehman, you're a baseball man. You've been dealing with Little League and coaching Little League and all that. What the fuck is that actually about? because the baseball umpires, they don't even say the word strike for a called strike for the first two. They just be like, hoop, hoop. But if it's called third strike and it's the third out, yes, you. They fucking dance all around and they run and it's fucking choreographed. And the arm comes up and the hand fucking bangs down. Then they almost fucking bow. The batter can't believe that was called a strike. Meanwhile, the teams are fucking changing. One's running in and one's running out. The asshole's standing in the box of shame and the umpire's just taking a celebration stroll around to see how fucking mad people are at him for that fucking. But something fucking crazy happens to him. In any other sport, he would get flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct. Alexa, quiet!
Alexa, stop.
I didn't get the alarm went off, but I still didn't get the text to go visit the cat, so I don't have to run off yet. So I actually like that. I performed it in Harrisburg, and I had a lot of stage to run around and call that third strike, so that was a fun one. And something else, I probably told you this last week, so I'm not going to tell you that. And you don't know what it is, so you have no way of knowing, but that's why we're here, right? That's why we do all this shit. Back to my notebook. So I like that one. I like some bits. I'm really mad because I have some stuff recorded that I could edit and drop on TikTok, even though it's in the wrong aspect ratio. But sound is terrible, and I have phones set up where I'm having, to my own standards, an ass-kicking show. There's shows that I wish I had recorded, and there's shows that I didn't record that I'm fucking glad I didn't record, and some that were recorded half-assedly where the 90% of the audience was fucking on fire with me, but the phone, the recording the show was on a tripod by a table of people that were either drunk or they hated me, and so it's me kicking ass, and on the video all you hear is just, well, I don't think he's very funny. Well, I don't think he's Amish. Well, I didn't want to come anyway. Well, he says fuck too much. And so that's not really good footage to drop on social media. So I did. But I was happy with the shows in Harrisburg. The Friday night show, smaller crowd, isn't going to laugh as loud, but it's a better recording than the Saturday night show. And I think that's the story that I told you. It was kind of badass because somebody drove down from Long Island, Staten Island, that's different. Long Island, that's way to fuck up. Staten Island, right? Was it Staten Island? Long Island. Which one's New York? Staten Island. That's a long trip to get to fucking Harrisburg. And I knew they were coming, and they were staying over, and it was a birthday celebration. They really got fucking hammered. And I acknowledged them in the show, and they kind of took this as an invitation to be part of my show. So that kind of fucked up the Saturday night recording. But I got some stuff on there. I'm going to be popping some more clips out. More book readings coming up. I had one ready. What I wanted to do was, I'm writing things in little bits and pieces, and then I want to throw them out there. So the one thing that's going to be happening next is, I don't have dates for everything that I did, but I can Google some shit, and I was trying to figure out, because my first headline gig, which I didn't know until I Googled myself, was July something. I was going to say 1923, but that can't be right. 1992. Yes, July of 1992. And the only reason I know this is that there's a pecking order for comedy in those days. They don't all use the recipe anymore. New York runs comedians all the time, 15-minute wax. But the recipe for a comedy club when I started, MC, 15 minutes. You end your show. It's very awkward. You don't get to leave the stage. Then you introduce the feature act, and they're 25 tight minutes, and they should be ready to headline and fucking smoke the audience. When they leave, people, why the fuck is that person not headlining? And then the MC goes back in between, which really sucks because he's not as funny as the rest of the show. So he drags the show back down, and then he has to introduce the headliner who comes up and kicks fucking ass. And then the MC comes back up again after that, and if he's really a fucking nitwit, he'll try to perform after the headliner. So the reason that I know that I headlined that night was you dream of headlining, and I wasn't there yet. And a comedian friend of mine said, don't try to headline. Just go in there, feature, destroy the room. Headliners will start to hate you, and they won't want you to, they'll tell you to tone it down. They'll complain. They won't want to be booked with you again. Those are good things. That's how you wind up being a headliner. So I always thought that when I booked a headline spot, it would be up on a calendar. And like when you buy concert tickets, when we had Sparks tickets, it's fun to have them. You want to see the show, but it's really fun to have them. It's like this fun thing in my pocket that I'm gonna do. It's you almost hate to have the thing happen. And I wanted that to be with my first headlining spot, so that I could just brag and boast. I got a headlining spot and it's coming up. Make sure you don't miss it. But I didn't fucking know because I wasn't a headliner on the show. The show where I first headlined was the Comedy Den, Allentown, basement of the Radisson. Arnold Horshack, Ron Palillo was breaking into comedy, and I was on the show with him. And as I write the book, Horshack autocorrects to horseback. So that's also delaying the book. But I knew because Arnold Horshack, Ron Palillo was on this show, it should be Googleable. So the thing was, Ron Palillo, taking nothing against him, that recipe I told you, MC, feature, headliner, it's unforgiving in that it's all about stage time. And then my comedian friend Ken Casper said, he taught me into MCing for like almost no fucking money. I mean, why would I do that? He goes, for stage time, you nitwit. So it's all about stage time. Ron Palillo, even though he's a TV actor, seasoned TV actor, he didn't have any experience doing stand-up comedy. So they were going to sell the show around Ron Palillo, Arnold Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter, but Ron Palillo would host the show, which is a fucking dumb idea because you pay the money and there's build-up and then there's the opening act and there's the warm-up band and then the big star. So the night hasn't started on fire yet and Ron Palillo fucking comes up. And it's actually surreal to see a TV star like Ron Palillo, Arnold Horshack, right there. It was a small club. It's actually really surreal. You go, that's fucking Arnold Horshack. I'm here, and Arnold Horshack is right fucking there. I'm here, and the guy who was on TV in my living room for all those years, he's actually fucking right there. That's who bought tickets to see him. I know this to be true because I got to see Pee Wee's Playhouse on Broadway, and with the same effect, we're like, unfucking believable. Pee Wee's Playhouse, that Pee Wee is right there, and I wasn't even that close to him. So that's how they sold the show. The problem is Ron Palillo did not want to be Arnold Horshack. He wanted to be a stand-up comedian. So he came out and he sort of badmouthed Arnold Horshack and went into stand-up comedy, and he just fucking bombed. And then he introduced me, and I sound all full of myself, but I was on fucking fire. I wanted to be on this show because it was going to be a full room. It was going to be 150 people, sold out, early show, late show, and I just wanted to just swam on TikTok to bring my show before as many people as possible. On fucking fire. I destroyed the fucking room. Ron Palillo's manager sat at the door clicking heads. He had the clicker, click, counting all the heads. And the headliner after me, Arnold Horshack, came up. Ron Palillo came back up. And then he did whatever he did. Then he brought up the headliner, Craig Mitchell. Really funny guy. But he I don't know. I really don't know exactly why. I actually Googled him, and Craig Mitchell's on Internet Movie Database. He has like 50, 60, 70 film credits, so he didn't need to do well this night. But he did well, but I was on fucking fire. So after the early show, Ron Palillo's manager, clicking heads at the door, bust the balls of the comedy club and said, "Why is the Amish comic not headlining this show? You were here, you heard the roars early, and then the headliner was funny, but it didn't. This is all ass backwards. We want him to headline the Late Show." So now that was how I found out that I would be headlining my first gig. That a man there managing a TV star who was emceeing, who shouldn't have been fucking emceeing because that's a fucking stupid recipe, went fucking nuts. And they wanted to push me up to headline spot. And that's a dick move to which I would be happy to take part in, but I don't want anything to do with it. I will do it. I will move to the headline spot for the Late Show, but I'm not gonna fucking move to the headline spot for the Late Show. Somebody's gonna have to fucking move me. And now they were smart enough to realize it would be unprofessional to tell Craig Mitchell that Ron Palillo's manager thought I was funnier that night and we should push me to the headline spot. So they thought up this, not me. They thought this up. They said that since you have a long drive, Craig Mitchell, back to New York, back to Long Island, if you would like, if you would like, if you would like the feature slot, and we can pay you the same money. You're not going to lose any money, and then we'll pay you, and then you can leave right after your feature spot on the Late Show, and you get on the road and home early. And he goes, that would be fucking fantastic. So not only did I not get to enjoy that I would be headlining my first night, there was all this other fucking tension that I won't have to deal with. That's like a fucking creepy twist where you're watching a movie and the family's planning to overthrow the family so they can get the inheritance. But I was fucking all about that. And the Late Show, I'm telling you, I fucking destroyed it. The plan went according to schedule. I'm a nice guy. I didn't want to dick over Craig Mitchell, but I also wanted the opportunity, and I just fucking destroyed the room. The local newspaper guy that was there to review the night was there for the early show. And so the night that I headlined, my first headline gig, the write-up on the review of that night, not that particular show, was after 30 minutes of Raymond's inextricable barnyard babblings. I didn't even fucking know what that word meant. I had to fucking look it up in the dictionary. And then I got the phone into Bearman and Keith and say, I actually read the review on their inextricable barnyard babblings. And like, I had to look it up, and it turns out that word inextricable means of or having an intense hatred of Raymond the Amishcomic. So it was funny because of my first headline gig, I didn't know I was going to headline, and I got a shitty review from even not being in the headline spot, which brings me to the difficulty of writing the book, because that story is amazing to me. I don't want to disrespect Ron Palillo, and he's not even alive anymore, but his story is kind of rather amazing. I really had respect for him wanting to detach from the character Horshack to have a career. But when it's easy to backseat drive, and I got 31 years under my belt now. When you're selling a character Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter, you have to do it. Like, even if you don't want to do it, you have to do it. You have to give the audience that which they paid for. Finest example, again, I'm talking about all dead comedians tonight. Bob Saget, who I saw in Boston, had the exact same problem as Ron Palillo, with one slight exception. Bob Saget was a seasoned fucking pro. with a tight hour of comedy so fast and so tight and so fucking brilliant. Hannibal Lecter himself would have swallowed his own fucking tongue. And Bob Saget knew why people bought tickets because he was still Full House, America's Funniest Home Videos. So he incorporated all that into his stand up comedy show with a fierce fucking edge. So the audience got what they wanted and he got to just fucking bang the shit out of him. Yeah, I'm just from memory. His thing was like America's Funniest Home Videos was like that's was popular, and I didn't really do anything. I stood in front of where they showed videos of bad parents having their kids break their arms on sliding boards, and then the people would laugh and all this is fucking horrible. Those things were the worst, fucking the worst parents, the most horrible bad people, and their kids getting run over by a car, and they're filming it. They're fucking filming it and laughing. These are bad parents. So he brought that into his show, and that was absolutely amazing. And I can't remember the Full House theme, but Bob Saget is musical, and he had a guitar up there, and he sang the theme, and it was something like "Everywhere you look, everywhere you go," something like that. I don't know what it was, but he incorporated that into his ex-wife brutal divorce and fucking cleaning him out, and the kids were there, and the new boyfriend got to enjoy all his stuff. So that was his thing. When I go over to pick up my kids, I like to torment her new boy toy. Everywhere you look in this house is something I bought. Fuck you. So that it was really brilliant. And if you go back in time and Bob Saget could visit Ron Palillo and say you should do that, that's the way to do it. So how to put all that stuff in a book, I don't fucking have a clue. I don't really know. But that's going to be in there somewhere. And Randy Lehman, you kick ass. That's fucking amazing. I appreciate that. People don't have any fucking money. And I'm a perfect example. So, but I'm working on the book. Thanks for tuning in here. I don't really have much else to say. If there's anything else, I'm peeking in the chat here. Let's see here. No, that's it. So, well, I think I'm streaming next week. Actually, I don't have much work, so I'm going to be streaming a lot in June. I believe that's the plan. So I'll be tuning in. TikTok's floating this way and that.
Have a great week.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mrs. Comic says, have a great week. You know what? Here's what's amazing about Mrs. Comic besides everything. She's fantastic with the thank yous, and she's fantastic with the have a great weeks. And she actually says to me after streams that the people in the chat were so nice and donations, and I don't know if I thanked everyone and all this and that. So she's the nicer one of us. I'm like is this fucking thing still on? I don't know. I love yous. I appreciate yous. Thanks for tuning in. If you see any of my events on Facebook and shit, give them a share, even if you're not going, because, well, you never know. Somebody might show up. So that's it for me. I'm going to do this. Let's see. Where is this? Not be right back. I'll do this one. Where is it? Stream ending. There it is. Stream ending. And then, this is the kind of shit. Like, I can click on stream ending now, and I know that you can hear me, but you can't see me. When on TikTok, I don't know how to fucking close anything. And plus, even this MacBook, I can just fucking close this thing, and it would shut down. Can't really close on an iPhone. So there you have it. Have a great week. Thanks for tuning in.